Yo!
Hello.
We're NOISIA.
Yes, this is Martijn. I'm Nick, that's Thijs. We're here at our studios in Groningen, where we grew up and went to high school together.
We had this built all to our wishes, and we're gonna take you on a tour today.
Welcome. We're in Nick's room currently. We have 3 identical rooms. We had them designed by Brussels-based Thomas Juan. He designed these rooms around our speakers.
So these are the ATC 110s suspended in the glass. Get a bit of daylight in here while we're working. These are the actual speakers, and this is a custom-made box in which they are suspended. So these boxes are touching the glass, but the speakers aren't. They are being suspended inside, within the box. He also designed our custom furniture that we work on. All these gaps are just so that it sees as little of the sound coming back, and the whole design has been made so it doesn't reflect too much, so that you still get most of your signal directly from the speakers instead of from early reflections.
We have diffusers to make sure that we're not going crazy when we're in here, because it's really quiet and the room is pretty dead by itself.
They've all been handmade. I remember the guy sawing all the blocks of wood. They had to be the right length each, which was kind of funny to see. This is one of the springs that is underneath each of the studios. There's about 40 to 50 of these underneath each room. And yeah, they're pretty heavy. Yeah, they have to hold the whole weight of the studio and then catch all the vibrations without transferring them to the floor.
All right, we're in my studio and I'm gonna talk you guys through my hardware setup. We run pretty much software studios, so we have these main gear desktop computers. For on the road, we have the Razer Blades, and we run Cubase and Ableton on those. For the last project I did, I made a lot of use of this thing. This is a modular synthesizer. So this is a filter, this is a filter, this is a filter, this is a filter. These are oscillator, oscillator, oscillator. It's a really physical way of approaching sound design. You can move around doing stuff. You're not sedentary like you're. You know, sometimes as a music producer, your life really resembles like an office job. This stuff for me kind of breaks that. There are software packages that allow that too, but for me, the physicality, having to actually move arms to do stuff is a big difference. And I've come to really enjoy that. So yeah, that's the modular.
I'm going to talk about what we actually have in the box in our computers in terms of software, because from when we started, we've always been working mostly in the box with lots of plugins. And we still do, and we've always been known to max out our CPUs and just put loads of plugins on everything. And it's a great and very enjoyable process, but you need a lot of processing power. So we're very happy that we now have these main gear, new main gear computers that'll allow for much more experimentation and much more options. And on the road we use the Blade, which is very powerful, so that'll be able to deal with the project transfers. In the box here, what we're using is a ton of plugins, a ton of synths. We use a lot of native instrument stuff. FM8 is a synth I use a lot. Serum is a synth by Steve Duda, Expert, that I use a lot. Use a lot of FabFilter bundle stuff. The EQ is my go-to EQ, the Pro Q. The multiband compressor is great. Saturn is a great plugin by FabFilter, great saturation. We use the Ozone bundle a lot. The Imager, the Exciter, the Maximizer, the Vintage Tape. Valhalla, definitely Valhalla. The reverbs are great. If you want a full list, well, you're never going to get a full list because it changes. I guess my computer is slightly different than Thijs and Martijn's as well, and I like to sometimes experiment and download glitchy plugins that'll crash your computer, but they might make a sound that is interesting. So on the road I use the Blade Pro for VJing in the Outer Edges show, which is amazing. The VJing options are incredible because of the GPU that's in there allows it to actually do full HD VJing at about 60 frames per second with multiple layers, which is great. But you can also install a bunch of audio software on it and work on it on the road and transfer projects. And like Thijs has been doing lots of work on the road with it, so it's awesome.
So that's that.